Years ago, before making this channel, before becoming a dating coach, before my very first podcast, Dudes Talking About Chicks, which is no longer on iTunes. Actually, comment below if you even know what that podcast is. That's old school Tripp stuff. Before that, before I moved to LA from Chicago, I was considered a pretty boring person. Did I have fun? Yes. Did I have friends? Yeah. Was I fun with my friends? Sure, yeah. But to girls, I wasn't very interesting. I was pretty boring. And I look back and I realize what made me boring. I've coached guys for many years now, and I look at them and I see what's boring, and I just sit down and ponder. And I think about, what is it that makes somebody boring? Well, when trying to dissect this and figure this out and make this video for you, the first thing I thought of is, well, what's the opposite of that, and who's the person who's not boring? Well, to kind of give it away here, that person is the person who knows how to spark an emotion. If you find that you're hearing this a lot on the channel, well, good, because that means that you're watching these videos and you're kind of following this journey of unfolding what it really means to be able to spark an emotion in a person that you talk to. And we're kind of following this theme here with the same idea, because if you think you're boring, that means that someone isn't feeling anything when they're around you. Think about when you're bored. It's pretty much a lack of feeling. It's like there's lack of stimulation. There's nothing going on. Think about the idea of being bored. You're just sitting at home and you feel almost nothing, almost like apathy. And then you might ask, Tripp, why should I even bother to learn how to not be boring? Why can't I just be myself? Why can't I just be me? Why do I have to work so hard at being able to do all this work just so a girl likes me? I'll answer your question. What makes you attracted to a girl? I'm not going to say what that answer is. You know what that is. And I can bet you that whatever a girl is doing to attract you, she's probably working at it too. My guess is that she's buying a lot of things to make herself look attractive. She's maybe even working on personal development like you are to make her be more attractive to guys. She's working too. But you know what? That doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter what they're doing. Really, it's all about, what do you want? Do you want to be able to attract a girl? Do you want an amazing girl? Why wouldn't you put in the effort to do that? Because right now I'm not talking about changing you or having to be a whole different person. It's about upgrading who you already are. Why wouldn't you want to learn how to be the best version of yourself, the most interesting version of yourself, to be able to get what you want? Well, if you made it this far in the video, you're lucky, because I'm about to give you 5 of the best ways to never be boring ever again. Practical tools that you could be working on. And we're going to be going over those right now. And the beautiful part about it is this is not going to be anything that's going to have to turn you into someone who you're not. These are really just simple techniques that you could use as soon as you get into the next conversation. What I'm going to be teaching you here is ways to be able to spark emotion in the girl that you're talking to. The first way to never be boring is to speak up on your opinions. That's right. When someone has an opinion, they tend to be polarizing. If their opinion is pretty strong, even if it's just a little bit strong, whatever your opinion is, it's going to be interesting because you have a stance on something. So there's a possibility that the girl you're talking to either agrees with your opinion or she disagrees. Either way, she is now intrigued by the conversation and what's going on, all because you just decided to speak up on your opinion. See, this is pretty easy stuff. It's just something you got to think about when you're in conversation. Another one is being spontaneous, like I'm doing right now. Here's the thing, if you want to be spontaneous, I actually have a whole video on that. So I want you to go to the description, and there's gonna be a link below, and I'll send you to that video on what it means to be spontaneous. But keep watching and go to that video afterwards. And I'm gonna tell you what that is, and it's all described in one word, which I'll tell you right now. Another very underrated way to be less boring, or I should say more interesting in conversation, is sharing knowledge or being able to teach something. So when you're in conversation with someone and some topic gets brought up, then you can maybe teach something or share some knowledge, So a great way to do this is keeping up on what's going on with current events, keeping up what's going on with new books, reading, learning stuff all the time. All the time I'm digging in and trying to learn new stuff just because I'm curious about what's going on in the world and just wanting to know about more topics. And then it's easier for me to chime in a conversation whenever any topic is pretty much brought up. Now, kind of connected to this is the idea of being able to talk about the things that you're interested in. So it's kind of similar to what I said before about the idea of you can teach something or share something, but if you're a person who has interest, who likes things, who's interested in whatever it is, and you talk about it, this is an opportunity to be interesting. Now, of course, you could be talking about something that nobody cares about and then hence be boring, but that's kind of the gamble you have to take. On the other end of things, if you're talking about something that you're interested in, but she or he is listening and they're interested too, now you are not boring. And if you've seen a pattern running through all of these, it's the idea that you got to speak up. Listen, I know that there's a lot of shy guys who watch this stuff. And if you're one of those guys, then I urge you, it's time to fix this. It's time to be the guy who's going to speak up and say something, because guys who are deemed as boring are the guys who are sitting in the corner or sitting in a conversation quiet, not saying anything. You got to give girls and people the opportunity to get to know you. You got to open your mouth and you must say something. This is the key to finally creating a connection, creating an emotion within the girl that you're talking to. There's one more I want to add in here also, is sharing your stories and being able to talk about your life and the things you've done. And if you say, Tripp, I haven't done much, I haven't really left my house much, I don't have many interests, I don't live an interesting life, then let me tell you something. There's no hack to this. What I want you to do is start creating an interesting life. Start getting out of the house. Start finding things that you like to do. Start trying new things. Because the more you become a cultured person by experiencing things, you're automatically going to be interesting and less boring, because you're going to be able to talk about these things. And that's what I want to do. I don't want you to lie. I don't want you to come up with some dumb routines or say something that's not congruent with who you are. I want you to actually have your own opinions, your own thoughts, your own stories, your own interesting things to say. So why don't you get out there and do something? Of course, you can always check out Chick Crack. That's going to give you the topics that women are interested in, so that's going to help out with being less boring. So go get that down in the description below. Go watch the video that teaches you how to be spontaneous. Take all these ideas and think about them. Think about how it can help you. Think about what the next move you're going to do is, that you're going to do to be interesting. So down in the comments below, right down below right now, I want to see a lot of comments. What is the next step you're going to take to be a little bit more interesting person and less boring and have more fun, exciting experiences? Write it down below. Why should you write it down below? Not only for you, but for everyone else who's watching this video and looking in the comments, and there will be a lot of those people. So let's all get ideas on how we can become that person. Sun is going down. I'm out of here. Talk to you later.